Old farmhouse deck, West Harrison, Indiana. I'll go over this one with you guys. This was an old farmhouse that had the deck system on it had ugly deck, right? So we're talking sun damage, mildew growth, algae growth, hairline cracks, exposed rusty fasteners, um, loose wobbly rails, all kinds of stuff, right? Just a backyard deck that hasn't been maintenanced or protected in several years. Who knows how long? And eventually it starts to take its toll and you start to get an ugly deck, right? And that's kind of where this system was at when we took it on. Believe it or not, um, e- even though this deck was filthy, and you can kind of see here how dirty it was, you can see over here where this guy's standing. Hold on here, let me show you guys. Uh, you see over in there, you see all that black? That's kind of how this deck was all over when we first got there. These pictures back here, let's look here. So these pictures back here were actually after we had put on a cleaning agent. We just hadn't washed it off yet. So it kind of bleaches that wood and takes away a lot of uh, that dark filthiness. But that's up in there. That's more what this did look like all over the place. But believe it or not, underneath of that, and this is kind of interesting. I see this a lot on deck systems when they develop this layer of scum on them. That layer of scum, it's kind of like the pill that is making the deck system better and making the deck system ill at the same time, because what that layer of scum can actually do is it can kind of act as a as a filter for UV rays, and it kind of even though the deck's filthy, it kind of keeps it from aging because it's not taking on direct sunlight, because it's got that layer of film on it. So look, when we cleaned all this black stuff off of here, this deck actually cleaned up nice, and it didn't have an extreme amount of UV damage. It didn't have an extreme amount of cracks or hairlines or frayed wood or weathering. Just what I would consider normal. I mean, normal for a structure of this age. Here's the outside of it. Just a standard old farmhouse. I believe the owner built this deck system. They did a good job. Um, it was sound, strong. This rail system here was wobbly, so it was loose a little bit. Just it come loose a little bit over the years, right? No big deal. Some more pictures of the structure. This is another structure on the property that we did. I'll go over that one in a different video, but like I said, the guys just came in and started washing it. There they are washing that floor. It's the very first step that we're going to take, and that's the very first step with all deck resurfacing and refinishing projects is washing. You got to get these structures really nice and clean, and we come in there with that high pressure water, because what that does is while we're doing that, it exposes everything that's wrong with your deck system. So when we come in there, we start using that high pressure water, and we start beating your deck around a little bit to get it clean. It's going to start giving up all of its secrets. It's going to start telling us everywhere if you got a rotten board, it's going to expose it. If you got something that's not secure, it's going to expose it, right? And what we're doing there is he's going board for board and cleaning that deck system. Board for board. That's how I train my guys. They'll start left to right. They'll pass on each board a couple times, and then they'll move to the next board. That way we get a really nice, good cleaning on the deck system. Well, I took a lot of pictures of the same stuff, didn't I? We got one guy on the inside cleaning. I'll take one of my other men, I'll put them on the outside. While one of them's cleaning the inside, the other one cleaning the outside. Same thing, board for board, right? He's going to start up here at the very top. Watch that, and then he'll go down to this board, right? And go top to bottom, left to right. Clean that deck system all the way around. This is a post on this deck that had some pretty radical checking. This is one of the reasons, I showed you guys that rail system was loose. This is one of the reasons that rail system had come loose. It's just over the years from the checking in that post where it's kind of, and you can see it's right along where they inserted these fasteners. You got a galvanized steel bolt here, which is cool. But down here, we've got some type of fasteners that were stuck through there that are steel. They're not galvanized, they're not coated, and it's causing a little bit of chaos there, right? And so that's opened up a little bit, and it's caused the rail system, that post, to become a little loose. We fixed that for them. That's the cool thing about Calling Armor, is that we're deck restoration painters, we're deck rescue painters. So we can come in, fix that for them, tighten it up. We got all that rail that I was telling you there. We got it secured. Got braces in there to help them. There's a shot of this from the air. Beautiful, beautiful farmhouse. Nice, gorgeous red metal roof. Beautiful area to work in the late fall. This kind of gives you guys an idea of just how filthy that deck floor was, right? Just a dirty deck floor. We call filthy deck, call it ugly deck, call it whatever you want. The owner was tired of looking at it, right? And so he decided, hey, if I'm going to get this deck system resurfaced, if I'm going to get it refinished, I want it protected in the toughest deck coating in the world. And so he called Calling Armor, right? Boom. This is afterwards, right? Just beautiful. Now look at my floors here. Look. What do you notice? Look. Look at them fastener entry points. They're closed off, right? No water getting to the fastener entries and getting to the screws, getting to the nails. Ain't no water getting to them there. It's because I teach my men, when we're going in there to coat these systems, Calling Armor, it's an unbelievably great coating system at filling in cracks. It can also bridge over top of cracks if it needs to, right? But I teach them, press into those cracks. Don't stop. Do it the whole time until once we get them all filled in, then we can start adding additional layers. And what it does is it creates this really just beautiful synthetic, almost composite like appearance, high build, ultra tough on these deck systems. You start looking from the outside there, just gorgeous. What you guys see? Look at my post. What you guys notice there, right? I showed you the cracks that were in them, the checking that was in them. No cracks, no checking. No, look, nowhere for water to enter whatsoever. Period. Right? It's from us taking that silverback epoxy and going in there and injecting it, right? And so there's nowhere for water to enter the post. There's nowhere for water to enter the deck boards. We're talking real protection for decks, right? Because if we're going to do it, let's do it. Let's not play around, right? Gets to me, man. It kind of gets to me a little bit. Same thing. Everywhere you look on my deck, don't matter where you're going to look on my deck system, there's going to be nowhere for water to enter the deck system through the film. through the armor film. There's nowhere, right? You see a plaque here, service plaque. Dang it. Okay, well, maybe we can't. Service plaque's going to be mounted there on the front of the structure. All right. So anybody that comes up there on that property, they know, hey, Kong Armor coated this deck system. Kong Armor's the one that came out here and did this, right? Look, right there it is. Service plaque. Also for the owner, in case they forget who coated their deck system, whatever. Maybe he grows senile. I don't know. He's got lifetime limited warranty on this film. He's also got a lifetime service promise. We'll come out, clean the structure for him. If he needs small touch-up for things like potted plants, nicks, dings, Kong Armor can be regenerated super, super quickly anytime life of ownership. It's everything that you've ever needed in a deck coating system that you've never had. So that's why you guys keep getting this ugly deck and the peeling paint and all that, because you don't have any resolution behind your coating system. I keep telling you guys this, but nobody listens to me, right? That's that other structure that I got. This had peeling paint, and I'll go over that later in a different deal. Look, here's the deal. KongArmor.com. You see it right here above my head, right here. You see that? Go there and learn more about Kong, especially if you live in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Southeast Indiana area. You got a deck, backyard structure that needs protected, needs refinished. You don't need to spend your life savings on composite and all that stuff. It's a waste of money. Our wood coated deck systems in Kong Armor, 50 to 70% less life of ownership cost than any of your peers around you, regardless of what they have. KongArmor.com. Go there now. It's the cure for ugly deck.